Most people believe being broke is caused by one simple thing: not earning enough money. But if that were true, then everyone with a high salary would automatically become wealthy. Yet reality tells a completely different story. Many doctors earn huge incomes, yet struggle with massive debt. Professional athletes sign multi-million-dollar contracts and still end up bankrupt. And millions of people earning six figures every year are still living paycheck to paycheck. So the real question isn't why people earn too little. The real question is this: why do so many people stay broke no matter how much money they make? And more importantly, what can you do to escape that cycle for good? Today, we're breaking down the real reasons most people remain broke and the simple mindset shifts that can completely transform your financial life. Most people believe being broke is just a temporary situation, something that will eventually fix itself with time. But for millions of people around the world, it isn't temporary at all. It's a system, a quiet, invisible cycle that repeats itself year after year. Every morning the alarm rings, you wake up, you get ready for work, you spend hours trading your time for money. At the end of the month, the paycheck finally arrives, but almost immediately, the money disappears. Rent, bills, food, small purchases that don't seem like much in the moment, and whatever little remains slowly vanishes on random spending. Then the next month begins, and the exact same cycle repeats itself again. Not because people are lazy, not because they are stupid, but because no one ever taught them the real rules of money. The first reason most people stay broke is surprisingly simple. They never create a plan for their money, and money without direction always disappears. Think about it. Imagine getting into a car, starting the engine, and driving for hours. But you never chose a destination. You burn fuel, you get tired, and eventually, you end up exactly where you started. That is exactly how many people treat their finances. They earn money, but they never tell their money where to go. Instead of budgeting, they rely on memory. Instead of planning, they rely on hope. But hope is not a financial strategy. Wealthy people do something very different. They build a simple system. Every dollar has a job. Some pays for life, some build savings, and some is sent to investments. Because money that is not assigned will always be spent. The second reason most people stay broke is lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the most dangerous financial traps out there. Because it feels like progress, but it quietly keeps you stuck. Your income goes up, but instead of building wealth, your expenses rise even faster. You get a raise, so you upgrade your phone, then your apartment, then your car, then your entire lifestyle, and just like that, your higher salary disappears as fast as it came. This is why someone earning $3,000 a month can feel broke, and someone earning $10,000 feels exactly the same, because the problem isn't how much you make, it's how much you keep. Most people let their spending rise to match their income, but wealthy people do the opposite. When they earn more, they spend a little more, but they invest a lot more. And that difference is what separates being rich from just looking rich. The third reason people stay broke is because they have no financial safety net. Life is unpredictable. At any moment, something can go wrong. Your car breaks down. Your phone suddenly stops working. A medical bill shows up out of nowhere. Unexpected expenses don't ask for permission. They just happen. And when you're not prepared, even a small problem can turn into a financial disaster. So what do most people do? They reach for credit cards. They take out loans. They borrow money just to survive the situation. And slowly, without even realizing it, debt starts to build. stress increases, and financial freedom moves further away. This is why an emergency fund is so powerful. It's not just money sitting in an account, it's financial armor. It protects you from chaos. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you control. Your first goal should be simple. Save at least 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Because when life throws surprises your way, you won't panic. You'll be ready. The fourth reason most people remain broke is because they only work for money and never learn how to make money work for them. Most people rely entirely on a job. They trade their time for a paycheck. But here's the problem. Time is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day, which means your income will always have a ceiling, no matter how hard you work. But investing changes the entire equation, because now your money starts working, even when you're not. While you sleep, while you relax, while you focus on other things, your money continues to grow through stocks, businesses, real estate, and index funds. These are not just assets, they are tools. Tools that quietly build wealth in the background, day after day, year after year. And the earlier you start, the more powerful it becomes. Because of one force that most people underestimate: compound growth, where small amounts of money, invested consistently over long periods of time, turn into something massive, something life-changing. But most people wait. They say, I'll start later, and later turns into next year, then someday, and eventually, never. And that delay costs them everything. The fifth reason people stay broke is emotional spending. Most people don't spend money because they truly need something. They spend money because they feel something. Stress after a long day, boredom with nothing to do, loneliness, or even the pressure to keep up with others. And in those moments, spending feels like a solution. Buying something new gives a quick rush, a temporary sense of control, a small hit of happiness. But here's the problem. That feeling never lasts. It fades fast. And what's left behind is less money, more regret, and a budget slowly falling apart. This is how small, impulsive decisions quietly turn into long-term financial damage. One random purchase becomes a habit, and that habit becomes a lifestyle. But there's a simple rule that can change everything. Wait 24 hours before buying anything non-essential, just one day. That pause creates space between emotion and action. It gives your mind time to slow down, to think clearly, and to separate what you want from what you actually need. And more often than not, after 24 hours, you'll realize something powerful. You never needed it in the first place. Escaping the cycle of being broke doesn't require luck. It doesn't require winning the lottery. It requires discipline and a few simple habits done consistently. First, create a basic budget. Know exactly where your money goes every single month. Because if you don't control your money will control you. Second, build an emergency fund. Start small if you have to. Even a little saved is better than nothing. But stay consistent, because one unexpected expense can destroy your progress. Third, invest regularly. Not when you feel like it, not when you have extra cash, but consistently, because time is your greatest advantage, and even small amounts can grow into something powerful. And finally, control lifestyle inflation. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it, because wealth isn't built by looking rich, it's built quietly, through smart decisions, repeated over time. Most people stay broke not because they lack opportunity, but because they follow financial habits that slowly work against them. The good news is, habits can change, and when your habits change, your financial future changes with them. Start small, stay consistent, and over time, those small decisions can completely transform your life.